But here we go. Game 1. Ordinance going to be first ban, first pick, taking out that Karthus straight away.
So scary. So scary. Nubby Pooh Bear is a fantastic AP mid. You know, he plays a myriad champions. Karthus is just one of those, just kind of a rudimentary, I would say, AP carry. Just he's fairly easy to play, you know, as long as you can hit a couple layways and a couple walls.
Yeah.
And he's super, super scary to play against, you know. So no one wants to see him. So just a ban outright. That global presence of his Requiem, very, very scary. So
it's
just take him off the table.
You get him if he gets farm. If he gets farm, he's just like what have I been doing this entire time? Yeah, I mean, granted, if you do get those ganks off early, if you can manage to kill him pretty frequently in the mid, it mitigates some of that. But play it safe. You just don't want him sitting down. You don't want him farming. Take him out immediately. Morgana, actually another passive farmer. It's going to just, it seems like Ordinance really does not like that in the mid.
No, right now it looks like they're slightly targeted at Nubby Pooh Bear. Let me find my words. Nubby Pooh Bear.
There you go.
It's kind of a tongue twister a little
bit.
Targeted at him, getting his AP carries on the table. I would be interested to see if they maybe do an Ezreal ban as well, because I know Nian loves Ezreal. That's one of his favorite champions to play.
And Ezreal's pretty hot right now, especially with the skin.
Especially with the skin.
I mean, we saw like Afremu was wrecking quite a bit with him as well. But check this out: Orbit has actually decided to pass. They've passed on their second ban, and
I think High may have fallen asleep at his keyboard.
I hope not. I hope not, because it took a while to get everybody into this game, and I don't want to have any unfortunate reset incidents have to go after all this again. But Shen going to be the last ban coming in from Ordinance. There you go. So yeah, that was an intentional ban skip there from Orbit Rumble.
Maybe. Do you think maybe they had spoken to Mr. Allen and they removed a ban?
Possible. Well,
because I know that can be a late penalty as well. It could be either a game loss or you could take away a ban.
I know some leagues do that. I know OGN does that. Like,
do you guys not do that?
We do not. Like, we do if you're like 15 minutes late, it's like straight up game loss.
Okay. But Nick Allen could change the rules.
He could very well. I know. I remember because I remember I was watching some of the CLG vlogs from the first time they were over in Korea. From what I've heard, if you swear, you lose a ban.
Really?
Yes. No F-bombs.
Okay.
No F-bombs, no S-bombs, no bombs, period. Otherwise, you start losing those bans. I've heard that.
I mean, that is interesting.
It is.
I mean, it makes sense because it's like a televised thing.
Right.
You could slip up and it'd be really, really bad.
It's we're not having any
sponsors.
No sponsored tips into the vent.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, Alistar was the first pickup here from Ordinance. Orb quickly picking up a Graves and a Janna as well. Janna, I've seen Janna mid actually. I know Curse was scrimming against someone last. I don't quite remember who it was, but they did go against that was Legion actually, they went against an AP Janna mid, and they actually lost that game.
Now here's the thing: I'm kind of at a loss here as to why Orbit decided to skip their second ban. Because sometimes when you do that, you just want to make sure that you have either one of two champs available to pick on the rebound when you get the second and third picks going in. But
it kind of makes sense because like if you don't ban, then there's one more OP champion on the table,
right?
That you could pick up. It's a little strategic.
It is a little strategic, but the thing is, though, they took Graves Janna, which is kind of like, maybe are they trying to fish out a certain comp coming in from Ordinance? Because they have, you got Alistar, you got TF, who's been actually, if you've at home watched our Taiwan qualifiers, has been banned nearly every single game. Really, they love that aggressive style. They love that aggression. But it's the thing that we're not seeing what is generally considered OP champions here for Orbit. Granted, yes, they are very strong. They're all strong champions, but it's kind of not quite sure if anything worth skipping a ban for.
Nope, they haven't really picked anything that's super OP, I would say, at this point in time.
Right.
I mean, Ryze, of course, fantastic mid. Not really considered like an AP kind of, just because he scales off of mana and stuff like that. But the scary thing about Ryze is that he builds tanky, and still does all the damage that he needs. That was the
Yeah.
scariest thing. I remember when Rise was like actually a true AP carry. Scaled off AP. His abilities were even a little bit different. His passive was different. But then when they changed him, they wanted to make him like a magical machine gun. I think it's pretty much what they said. They
I like that.
Just wanted to DPS out as much as possible. And they succeeded, but they also made him a scary, scary champion.
Yeah.
And, you don't want to see him.
No, absolutely scary dude there in the mid lane. And there you go. Ordinance going to round out the rest of the lineup with Aurelia and Ezreal. And this is now really the only counter pick left to open for Orb is to go ahead and think of someone who can match up well against that Aurelia there top and just try and prevent that farm. Darius, I think he fits the bill. I think he does all right.
I think he definitely does work out there. We'll see. The scariest thing about Darius is that bleed.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that bleed so much.
So
I remember
bad.
I was watching I think Westrice play the other day, and he was against Darius. He walked out of a team fight with like 100 and something health, and he was like, "I'll be okay."
Nope.
Bleed out, dies. It's ridiculous in that respect. But both teams are locked in. We've got our 5 full roster here. We'll see the Alistar, Ezreal, Aurelia, Twisted Fate, and Nocturne for Ordinance Gaming. And then over for Orbit, we will have Maokai, Darius, Janna, Rise, and Graves. So actually, Nian going to be on that Graves. He had first pick, didn't get the Ezreal that he so rightly loves to play.
Yeah.
Like I remember, Curse had a best of 3 again yesterday against Orb. Ezreal every game. He
Every game.
did not venture far from it whatsoever.
Wow.
He loves Ezreal, and for good reason. Ezreal is, like you said, a lot of the rage right now is a little bit due to the skin. Of course, the skin is really, really cool, but at the same time, the skin kind of brought some issues to light that Ezreal has.
Yeah.
Ezreal has a really, really awesome poke in the Mystic Shot. You can poke all day with that thing. It's so good, especially with a Soraka lane. You can just poke. And then he has the Arcane Shift, which makes him super slippery. It's an extra flash. He can cover so much ground with that thing. And then the scariest thing, in my opinion, I think in a lot of people's opinion about Ezreal, is his W, actually. His W is Essence Flux, and what it does is it does damage. It only hits champions. So, unlike Mystic Shot, it can't be blocked by creeps. And it slows down the attack speed of the enemy champion that it hits. So whenever Ezreal versus whoever is going against each other one-on-one, he's getting attack speed from his Rising Spell Force passive for each spell he hits, and he's slowing their attack speed with W.
Yep.
That means you win trades all day.
All day. Yeah. When I was first learning Ezreal, I was not that smart. I started maxing out W first, going for harass, and then I'm trying to shoot champions over the mini waves. Why are the minions not taking damage? I don't understand what's going on. Oh wait, okay.
What is going on?
What is going on? I don't understand. But it is. I've talked with Baron about this as well. Maxing out the W is sometimes not all too uncommon in bot lane either. It just for pure absolute harass. If you want to try and force out your opponent in lane, it's a pretty damn good tool. But unfortunately, though, not with the Soraka. You're with the Alistar, which is straight up looking for the aggression. So Robert's probably going to be looking to max out that Q first, maximize his damage, get that shift on over, and you also note, whenever you see an ignite on the enemy AD, that's a telltale sign they're looking to be aggressive. They want to get those kills.
And Nian, of course, actually rocking a cleanse this game. So he wants to get out of the Nocturne Fear. He wants to get out of the Equilibrium Strike, assuming that Aurelia has less health than him. Wants to get out of the gold card. Then he can't really, you can't cleanse and knock up.
Unfortunately
so
not.
That's bad for him. He can cleanse the Ignite, and he can also cleanse the attack speed debuff of Ezreal. So when it comes down to that hardcore trading, Ezreal could, kind of have in his back pocket, I'll be okay. He's snapping little attacks at him. Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, he's like, I'll be okay. His attack speed's slow, but then all of a sudden he gets cleansed, and he's like, oh,
yeah. Now
we're on even ground. And Graves has a lot of burst damage with the buckshot. He can increase his own attack speed to counteract the Essence Flux of Ezreal with the quick draw, and then collateral damage is just the icing on the cake at that point, just to finish stragglers off, essentially. But 15 seconds left in this thing. Who do you think is going to take this game?
I mean, you look at Ordinance, and that is such an aggressive team. But Orbit, Orbit's, I think, really looking to be on the defensive end here. You do have the Maokai ult. You do have, Janna is perfect, absolutely perfect for just getting the enemy team off of you. So they're looking to try and get like a nice counter initiation. Their data defense, like you find, you guys make a move. When you guys are done, when you've blown everything, we'll be there to try and kill you. And it's just a matter of, will the pressure from Ordinance, will the damage from Ordinance be enough to take out Orbit before that time ever comes? Or will their aggression in any lane just spiral so far out of control? Because Twisted Fate can be anywhere. And I think that's partially the reason why Nien went with that cleanse, to go ahead and make sure to get that gold card off, just in case it's a plan B, just in case Janna can't go ahead and clear things to safety.
And from the looks of it, Orb has a really tanky team. The Maokai, his ultimate, Darius is very tanky. Rise gets really tanky. Graves has his True Grit pass that makes him very tanky.
Yep.
So I feel like Orbit's going more for an attrition team comp, in that they just want to wear down the team of Ordinance. They want the Ezreal to stay as squishy as possible. They want TF to stay as squishy as possible, and they just kind of want to stave off the super aggression of Ord, and then go in for the kill. Get the reset on Noxie and Guillotine. Get the Dunk Master in there. Do work. Get the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Get them sick resets. Get them sick resets.
Most definitely. Now, standard builds from both teams, of course, boots, potions, across the board. Actually, boots, potions on an Alistar, which is interesting.
Yeah, whenever you see boots on a support, usually it means that they're going in.
It's go time.
It's go time. It's going for that level 1 invade. They want something happening. Sapling right there at the edge of the bush. Herp, derp, 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 derp. Boom. Okay, so now Maokai knows. Right now, Orbit knows. I was reading those comics earlier. I read the old MS Paint ones. It's like, I'm Maokai, I got my saplings. Throws one, and he's just like, oh, look, I'm a sapling. Burp, 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 and he just doesn't even hit the enemy champion. He just bursts right in front of him.
I don't know if I've seen that one, but I'm gonna.
I'll show them to you later.
Okay.
They're absolutely classic things.
Please do.
I keep referencing them too on stream sometimes. Like first time I did, there's like a Mundo comic where he's trying to throw and break Vladimir's back, and he just melts into a pool. He's got a troll face right in the middle of it, and Mundo just stares at him. He's just like, really?
It's a sanguine pool. It's OP. Now, you've seen the strength of Maokai saplings right there, able to stave off the level 1 aggression of Ordinance, using those as little damaging wards that can last about 30 seconds at a brush. But it looks like Ordinance may actually have other plans. Spellsy walking up onto this Graves here. Will he be able to cash anyone? Maokai and Janna are in the wings waiting for this, so actually the aggression is still there. It looks like Ordinance is going to kind of camp this blue buff, forcing Maokai to take a different route back home. And it looks like they're just going to take this blue buff and donate it on to Nocturne, I would assume. But
yeah,
maybe an early blue buff for Ezreal would actually really help him in lane.
And we saw it the other day, actually, a blue buff being passed over to Dyrus there in the top lane with Olaf the other night. But put it on Nocturne, it helps out the jungle immensely. It's going to give him that little boost of experience that he needs to hit 6 to make sure those ganks are that much more powerful early on in the game. So should be able to go ahead, swoop on in over to grab his red. But the question is, if Heil9 will actually get aggressive. It's pretty safe to assume that his blue's gone right now. He doesn't know that quite yet, but he could go over to enemy blue and try and attempt for a steal on that, possibly with a little help from Yuzuki to try and even things out, and yet still end up with blue buff here after the first jungle clear.
Yeah, and Aurelia actually went down, checked her own blue buff to make sure that Maokai didn't go ahead and counter that blue. Nocturne's going to pick up his own blue, refreshing that. And the aggression from Alistar will actually hit onto Nien. The Mystic Shot's doing a lot of damage. The Exhaust and the Ignite may take down Nien, but he does cleanse it. But a Flash Last auto attack will take him down underneath his own tower. First blood for Ezreal. There you go. Just like you said, boots Alistar.
Boom.
It's go time.
It's a lot of aggression. It's a quick kill, and also a burned cleanse. Unfortunately, there you go. Once again, the aggression continues. Headbutt into the wall. Pulverized going down 2. Robert trying to get as much damage as he can, but the shield will mitigate that. Janna will be safe, but Lemon Nation, he's hurt. He's hurt really bad. May have to force a back. Still getting poked down in bot tower whenever. Wow. They're really going for that. They want the aggression. Robert Lee, can you make this happen? Something, yes. There you go. There is the W. There's a kill. And once again, headbutt. No, pulverized. Nien, will you manage to get out? I think so. But he didn't even get back to tier 1 tower, and he already needs to go back to town.
That was an aggressive, I mean, to say the least, that was aggression at its finest right there.
He's still level 1. He's still level 1.
That's rough for him. And he doesn't have any summoners as well.
No.
So going back to lane, he is going to be very, very scared. And it's very, very smart for Spellsy and Robert E. Lee. Because I was actually talking to Cop the other day about Nian because they had a best-of-3 series with him. Nian's strength is his laning phase. He farms like a boss. And he kind of has that, lets that carry over. He grabs late game by the throat with that farm and just brings it right down to him, gets an early Infinity Edge, and then starts destroying team fights. But if Robert E. Lee and Spellsy right here are able to shut down Nian's laning phase, he's not going to be as scary as he normally is in team fights.
Yeah, like you mentioned, he just dinged 2. He just got level 2. Rob, he's already well on his way, almost hitting 4. And not to mention, the other lanes are doing okay. Yuzuki getting full stacks down onto Rich. Is not 60 yet, does not have the ultimate. That could have been a finish there. But Yuzuki, both our top laners, going to be chugging those potions as quick as they can to try and just recover from that harass. Rich definitely got the better of that exchange. But the thing is, though, once both our champs hit 6 is going to be a very different story. Look at Hacker, though, waiting for his time there in the bot bush, waiting for an attempt, waiting for a kill.
Twisted Fate as well. They want to camp this bot lane. They don't want him to get any advantage, but it looks like actually Maokai comes out for the jungle. The counter flash from Mizuki trying to get back in that brush, and the Bleed Ignite will take down Aurelia. In the meantime, down bot, Nian goes down as well. Yeah. Janna falls.
Quick rewind for that one.
Go right
you gotta see how that played out, both at the same time pretty much. Too much going on this map right now. In the end, Elimination Day think they're safe, but there you go. Flash over the wall. TF getting those yellow cards, getting all the damage. Really quick 4-man gank down in the bot lane. Very well done. And is it what? Wow! It's
gonna be a dragon.
It's gonna be a dragon. You know what? They have the aggression. They have the damage. And, Spellsy, he's gonna be good enough tank here. Just gotta go ahead and trade off the tanking duties.
Wow!
That is a 5.5 minute dragon there. Well, 6 minute dragon, like on the dot, pretty much. That is impressive.
Indeed. Really, really great plays. A lot of people discount Twisted Fate. They say, oh, he won't gank till 6. He won't gank till 6.
Bull.
Right now, we just saw, woo. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to be able to say that.
Yeah.
We just saw TF go bot really early with the flash, aggression, gold card, tower dive. And they picked up 2 kills down there. Nian's still very far behind. 32 CS on Ezreal to 20 CS on Graves. Now, you say, oh, it's only a 10 CS difference. Ezreal is 2-0 and 2 already. Already has his phage. And actually, here comes Maokai in for the counter gank. Locking down Robert Lee with a twisted advance. He does get headbutted away by Spellsy, and here comes TF. But TF is actually being locked down by Rise in his own jungle, so no port will come of it.
No, he will not. And he's got to go try and get back to safety here. But Nubby Pooh Bear will he take enough turret damage? Yes, he will. But that's the thing, though. You got the credit for the kill down on the Hacker, but when you have an even trade like that, really the big winner is whoever gets the most assists. And there you go with that. Ordinance is going to go ahead and take that one with them to the bank. So they get a nice little advantage off of that trade at the very least. But TF's ult is going to be down for just for a little while, but it's okay. Kills still managing to happen.
Yeah, really, really great play by Nubby Pooh Bear to counter the aggression of TF. Actually, the Equilibrium Strike will stun Yuzuki up top lane. Full stacks of this bleed right now. He could be looking for a Noxian Guillotine.
Oh.
The stacks did run off. Will we see another Apprehend? I don't know what his cooldowns quite are. 10 more seconds on the Apprehend, so nothing quite yet. So Aurelia's going to be able to get there. Nocturne ult went down bot, however. Onto Elimination, he flashes it, but the fear goes off, and Hacker V2 able to pick up that kill even though he's exhausted. But here comes Maokai in for the counter gank and the Tribe Rush again.
Very well done.
Nice shutdown for Maokai. We'll pick up that kill.
Nice happenstance, just happened to be in the neighborhood, and there you go. Quick twisted advance, all the damage needed, high on 9, capitalizing on that kill very well. And just when you're a jungler, sometimes you just need to be close by. You don't even really need to be in lane to go ahead and help out, to counter gank, to try and get all that damage. But here's the thing, though. Ordinance right now, they're in a pretty good spot right now. It's 6-3. They've got a good, a K and a half, which is a pretty good lead to have before you even ever hit the 10-minute mark. So they're still in a good spot. And the freaking early dragon. I mean, that thing's going to be coming back up at 12 minutes. Usually when people go for their first dragon.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's ridiculous, and they have that down locked. But here's the thing, though. Now you're hitting the 7-8 minute part here. Blue has respawned, and it looks like Orbit, they're going really aggressive. They want to go for the steal, but they don't quite have the vision needed.
This is
but
going to be a
guess
3-on-3 engage here. Here comes Darius actually coming down from the top. The sapling does get tossed to the brush. Maokai will get goad carded. The spell shield will block the rune prison. Hacker V2 in a lot of trouble in the reset from Darius. Dunkmaster Darius, does he have apprehend up? I do not think he does. The rune prison does happen on TF, but the bleed and ignite should take down TF. He does, and now this is a 3-on-1 fight here. Rich Eric is just trying to make something happen, and he does. He takes down Rise, but he goes down himself.
Yep.
Nice 3-for-1 exchange in the favor of Orbit right there, pulling themselves up by their bootstraps and getting right back into this game.
And the blue buff, they can go ahead and go home with that in their pocket as well. So 3-for-1.
Nice little party gift.
Nice little party is, thanks for coming on the show. Great to have you. Not only did you win, you get these wonderful prizes from our sponsors. And you've won a blue buff. Go ahead and take that home with you with your extra mana regen and your cooldown reduction, courtesy of your friends, Team Ordinance.
Perfect. It looks like Ezreal again boots Phage already, 61 CS, 203. As far as middle is concerned, you've got TF with double Dords right now and spell pin boots, 1, 2, and 3.
There you go.
Actually, both AP mids, 1, 2, and 3 right now. 60 CS on Rise. He's got the Tear of the Goddess standard Rise build right there. It's going to give him a lot of mana, which scales all of his spells. Sometimes you see either, and he's got the Ruby Crystal, so he's going to go for a Catalyst just after that to help him stay in lane and give him some more mana on top of that.
Yep.
So Rise just going to get exponentially tanky as the game goes on. That's exactly how he works, and that's exactly why he's so scary.
He is incredibly scary, and now with the tweaks that have been made to his ratios recently, that Catalyst can he's got better options now. He can actually go into Rod of Ages now viably and actually get better scaling off all of his stuff. He could also always still go for the tried and true Banshee's Veil. You get a little health, you get a little bit of mana, and that spell shield is actually going to be working really well against pretty much all of Ordinance. All those stuns and everything. But it's going to be very much like the cleanse on Nian. It's not going to help a whole lot against Alistar because he's got that combo. It's a 2-hit combo. That shield only blocks one part. Even if you block the headbutt, that's still a position adjustment for Alistar, and he will still get you with that pulverize.
And you also see he did go Stork Boots.
Yes.
And actually top lane went Ninja Tabby as well. So not a Merc Tread heavy game right here. When you're playing against Alistar, the only thing that in the game that doesn't get affected by tenacity is knockups. Jarvan's knock up, Alistar's knock up. That all, and then I guess Zyra's new knock-up with her ultimate.
Yes. Yeah, I forgot about her.
Shout out Zyra. But so that kind of, when you think about it, at that point in time, Merc Treads aren't the most,
efficient thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Hence, look, the move
Maokai
5 boots.
Boots of mobility.
Which is actually, I've been seeing that, quite a bit. It seems like a pretty popular pick on him too.
Oh, yeah.
But of course, when your first hit's going to be that twisted advance. You just want to make sure you close the gap, of course.
Oh yeah, which is a double-edged sword there too, because I have seen, because when you twisted advance someone, you get dragged whether they flash, whether they essence flux or arcane shift, whatever they do.
Yeah,
I've seen a Maokai get dragged like all the way across the map. Just because if you try to twist advance on Ezreal, if he flashes and arcane shifts at the same time, and a fail flash there from Aurelia.
Yeah,
they have been trying to maybe a mistype or something.
Yeah, could have been. Could very well have been.
Not going to be up for this dragon fight here. That's going to be all important. That early 6-minute dragon leads to an average, I guess, 12-minute dragon here. The Twist of Fate ultimate comes down. Here comes Spellsy getting there, popping his ultimate, trying to choose a target here. He knocks up 2 members of Orb. There's the ultimate from Robert X. Lee. Nocturnax decides to engage right on top of Hile 9, and he doesn't go down. The Janna Monsoon heal will save him, but here's the Transcendent Blades from Aurelia trying to take him down. On top of that, the bleed onto Aurelia will tick down just a little bit. Rise has no mana here. That's the scariest thing in the world. When you're trying to get into a fight, you're an AP mid, and you don't have enough mana to help your team. It is just for naught. Nothing he can do there.
Yeah.
And it looks like Dragon's just going to be staved off for a little bit longer. Yeah,
right now, Ordinance are a little bit too weak to go ahead and finish the job. But here's the thing, once again, now going back and forth, another 1 for 3. Dragon is roughly even to about 2 kills.
2 to 3 kills.
Yeah, but granted, those kills are very, it's distributed among, of course, whoever gets those kills. So it's a little bit unequal distribution there, but still, it's a dragon delayed. It's a gold advantage gained, and you know what? Also, good call and giving a little bit of the business once again to Nian, because again those cooldowns have actually been popped once again. TF in that fight really focused down Graves, wanted to make sure he was out and done for, making sure he was not a factor. So there's actually a lot of cooldowns actually burned from Orbit in that last fight. Whereas right now you do see on Ordinance, you still have Aurelia's ult up, you still have Ezreal's ult up. Flash and Smite actually still on Nocturne, the Smite being the really important part there for when they want to actually go ahead and do this Dragon, which is, I'm saying it, they're going to go for it right now. And to go for an objective like Dragon, like Baron, and have your jungler with their Smite down, that can leave options open for a steal, but since they have the position now, they should be able to secure it pretty easy. But look at Yuzuki, very nice instinct on him. Everyone's traveling down to Dragon. I'm going to shove top.
Mm-hmm. That's what he's doing. He's trying to trade a top tower right now for Dragon. It looks like he's going to do just that. He's going to walk in. They're pinging the blue buff. They know it's up because, as we saw, Orb did win a 3-on-3 engage here last time. So they have the exact timer on blue buff, and they're going to utilize that right now. And no one on Ordinance is really in the area, so this is going to be another blue buff taken away from Twisted Fate. I don't think Twisted Fate has really had his own blue buff entire game.
No, he hasn't, but you do see that he's actually getting aggressive right there. The ult is back up once again. Yellow card, that cleanse is down in the end. There's the pulverize, more damage, something, anything. Ezreal ult from Robert X. Lee will finish it off. Yellow card once again down. Lemon Nation has to burn the Flash, but Rob's getting really aggressive there. Flash in response, Tornado keeping him away. Spellsy, can you do something? No, your Flash is down. Janna will manage to get out of that one clean and easy, but with all of that aggression going down bot, once again, Orb, they're going ahead, they're grabbing those objectives, and good on Orbit to recognize when you see Ordinance's out of position, you can go ahead, take those towers down real quick. Global gold for your team, always a good thing, and the push is actually continuing here in mid.
Yeah, they definitely know they can do this, and it looks like they're going to pressure it. The next creep wave is coming behind, and now it looks like Ordinance is pinging their own red buff. They know it's up. Orb knows it's up, and they definitely don't want to lose this one. Looks like there's going to be a skirmish over this red buff here.
Oh, this could be really bad.
They're
going to be outnumbered very soon. It could be a 3v5 if they decide to stay. But there you go, Spellsy right there with the headbutt, waiting for the CC, the pulverize. Nocturne with the ult on in. You do have the Maokai ult up, but now it's a full 5-on-5 team fight here. You got Nocturne going to be going down first. Alistar and Maokai going to be going down as well. TF could be singled out and killed. Triple kill for the Rise. Robert going to be the next one to go down. There is the ace. Wonderfully orchestrated from Orb. Orbit, they got in that bush. The other two remaining teammates got there just in the nick of time to go ahead and catch up. But with that team fight, though, brings the game bang on even in gold, though. So Orbit, they still have a little bit of ways to try and start running away with this game, but that's a really good start. They may very well get the tier 3 here. I don't think they're going to get the inhibitor, but they should be able to at least get this down to half.
Yeah, that's definitely what they're going to do. They're very smart. They're aware that they need to back off here. They're all low. They have to go back. They got to be a little wary. I think a 17-minute Baron would be pretty early. But hell, we just saw Ordinance take a 6-minute Dragon before. They ain't scared of no Ghost. So they're going to go ahead and just kind of pressure down mid lane a little bit. They know all of Orb has to go back. As far as that last team fight is concerned, I saw TF make two critical mistakes. The first mistake is he actually flashed into the middle of the fight. He wanted that Rise dead. He smelled blood, and he flashed really, really aggressively. As soon as he flashed, he got locked down by Twisted Advance. And then when he was trying to pull away, he actually picked a red card to try to counter the Rise. He missed the gold card, and it sucked for him. So he actually paid for those mistakes right there. And Orb was able to take that fight rather convincingly.
Spellsy getting a little bit too far out there. You don't want to be losing that Oracles at this point in the game. If Yuzuki got a little bit anxious there, he could actually just go ahead for the hook over the wall, over the forest. But this time he's not going to be going for it. But yeah, all these previous team fights though, especially the last one at Dragon, you saw Wu was actually going straight on in to try and get Nien out of the fight immediately. And I think now Ordinance is realizing that Graves, he's already been weakened because of the laning phase. He may not necessarily be the one they want to focus. And they're realizing, like, hey guys, Rise is a bit of a problem. But here's the issue. He's got the Banshees. He's got the Chain Vest. he's a little bit too tanky at this moment. So now there's this shift. Now it's just like, okay, what's Ordinance's game plan here? Do you still want to try and solo out Graves? Should we try and focus down Rise and take him out first? Now with another Negatron Cloak, TF's going to be doing even less damage to him. This is an issue.
Yeah, and the thing about the last fight as well is that Ordinance doesn't want to engage in a small confined place with Orb.
No,
because Orb has the damage mitigation from Maokai's ultimate. Darius is going to be in the middle of that, swinging his axe around with his Decimate, doing a lot of damage, a lot of bleed damage. Graves has the buckshot and the collateral damage.
And red buff soon.
Once Rise is able to activate his ultimate, he's going to be dealing a lot of AoE damage.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, after all that AoE damage is out, if Orb doesn't like where the fight is going, they have the perfect disengage with Janna.
Yes.
So they have the eject button. Janna is their eject button right now as far as team fights are concerned.
Yeah, and that's something Ordinance doesn't have.
Nope,
they have no eject button. They've dedicated themselves to this aggressive play style, and Alistar, you got the Nocturne, you got the TF. That is a commitment. When you're using when TF pops that ult when he's looking to port in, when Nocturne goes in with his ult, that is a fight commitment. It is do or die. You do not back down for that. Like, here you go. You got the TF ult going down, and right now Orbit, they're a little bit trapped there. But I think they're just trying to get vision to see if they can't get Spellsy out of there. And now with the TF ult down, that does give a little bit of an opportunity for Orbit here to try and be aggressive, knowing that they can't be caught out by a wayward gold card.
Yes, Spellsy did also just blow a very defensive flash over that blue wall.
Yes.
So Orb is going to take advantage of that. They know Aurelia is up or near top, and they know Ezreal was just bot. They saw him farming creeps, so they're going to pressure this mid tower that's already at half health. Spellsy's coming in. He does get knocked out by the tornado. He gets Rune Prism, but he decides to ultimate right out of it. The Maokai ultimate will come down to mitigate a lot of damage. High is actually locked down to that turret with a gold card. The True Shot Barrage will deal a little bit of damage, but it's still not something that they're looking for.
Oh, Nocturne
actually decides to ult in onto High and Nubby Pooh Bear, but then pulls off.
Oh, he backs out, and then there was no commitment for the team. But now, though, Lemon Nation does manage to get focused down out of the back line by Robert and Orbit. They're a little bit split here. It's kind of confusing. It's like, okay, this is a huge, whoa, nice ult coming on in. Yuzuki going to go ahead and also grab that one. But Robert, actually, he's kiting very well here. Just a matter of, can he grab any more kills in the retreat? That was a very
interesting.
It was awkward. Let's say it was an awkward fight at best, because you have like Nocturne. I was saying a commitment, and then it's just kind of like like Nocturne was like right there at the gates, like ready to propose to Janna, and then he just like
he got cold feet.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
He went out. Yeah, that was like an awkward teenager fight right there. Very, very, very strange at a high school dance or something. Or
I know, just wallflowers, forest flowers, because everyone was just kind of like in that ridge here, just like it was like,
yeah, what do we do?
Musical chairs, musical champions a little bit.
A great collateral damage to pick up that Aurelia kill.
Fantastic.
So good. That coupled with the bleed from Darius that was already applied. Darius did end up picking up that kill, but I mean.
If anything, that is a little bit of a problem though, because a lot of the gold right now on Orb, is a lot of it is on Rise actually. But meanwhile, Yuzuki, he's out in front. Look how tanky he is though. All that gold he's gotten makes him ridiculously tanky, but not in a 4v1 unfortunately. And he will actually go down. Granted, Nocturne goes down as well. A nice little engage with Nien and High. But here's the thing, it's still a 4v4, Dragon is still up, it's still an objective, and neither team looks to be backing down from this. It's just a matter of will Ordinance go for their engage. They do have Alistar in position. He does have Exhaust, he does not have his flash. Will something happen here? No. There you go, Orbit will secure the Dragon.
Yeah, Graves and Maokai did a fantastic job of zoning out that Nocturne. While that little skirmish was going on up top, down bot near the Tri-Brush, Graves and Maokai took down Nocturne.
Yes.
And after that, Orb knew they don't have a smite anymore. Let's take Dragon for free.
Might as well.
That's exactly what happened.
Yep, and so the gold distribution is actually starting to even quite a bit, and considering how much and how well denied Nien was in bot lane, he's now actually overtaken Robert Lee in terms of level at the very least. Gold, still a different story.
Still has about a 1K less gold for him. That's a pickaxe right there.
But it's weird. It's weird though. Like how he can be down in gold, but up in experience, and it does happen. It does happen. It doesn't happen too often, but it still does happen. But that kind of I think it kind of tells where the focus has been. Nien has been looking to try and focus a little bit, getting that experience, trying to catch up, where Robert Lee's been a little bit more kill-focused.
Yeah.
He's 4-1-9. He's got a lot of credit to him. You know, Graves, not so much, but usually that's the creep lead. That's an experienced lead. He's been in a lot more time in the lane. And that may translate later, but the thing is, though, right now you got TF caught out here in the mid. There's the Prism. There's the damage. That's not good.
And there's the reset, just as the icing on the cake. And they're going to take down this mid turret easy, and they may very well get an inhibitor out of this, actually.
I think they may, because there's not enough time here for Ordinance to try and come back. Trading a tier 1 tower for an inhib, not the best trade in the world. That's kind of like, you know.
Survey says?
Survey says, no, no, I'm not trading you my Squirtle for your Charizard. It's not happening. That's not a trade you want to make, and that's exactly what happened here.
Oh man.
Ordinance just traded their Charizard for a Squirtle. That's exactly what just happened.
Why would you do that?
Why would holographic chart? You don't do no, never, ever. But here's the thing, though, Orbit, they're also still in a nice position to try and force out a Baron fight. I don't think they're going to be able to take it, but there's the vision coming in from TF. They know they're doing it. They know they're in the area, but they could try and force this here. Aurelia out in front, Tornado keeping them back just a little bit. There's the Maokai ult in defense, but here's the thing, Orbit, they got a nice position here. That may seem like they're kind of trapped here in this tri-brush, but the thing is that they have that element of surprise. They're going to be guaranteed the first hit if Ordinance decide to wander on into that tri-brush, but unfortunately they will not. Everyone's going to split up. Orbit's going to back, and we'll see what they buy and see if they regroup here for Baron.
The gold is right now. Graves, the end, has amassed a lot of gold. He has 193 farm to Ezreal's 162. Again, you know, the early aggression from Spellsy and Robert Lee did a lot of work for them. We saw them tower dive a tier 2 turret, essentially, early game, while Graves was still level 1. But in the end, it's kind of just stayed bot, sat in that lane, absorbed the farm, and he's bringing himself right back into this game, you know? And as I said before, his strength is the laning phase. He extended it as long as he felt he needed, and now we're going into the part where Nien does a lot of work with that red buff. Graves is an incredible AD carry because of his quick draw, his buckshot, his collateral damage. Those are his spells. I understand that. But what I'm trying to say is quick draw is such a great spell in that it cools down on auto attacks, meaning you can quick draw around everywhere in the fight as you're auto attacking, as you're right clicking, which is what an AD carry should do. Hopefully. And it also fixes your positioning. You know, so if you do get a little caught out of position, like we saw that little chase that happened, Nien was in the back. He was the slowest member on the team, but whenever Ezreal tried to arcane shift and engage with his red buff, Nien was able to quick draw away and get out of there safely.
Spellsy right there in that bush. There's a twisted advance to go ahead and keep him still Maokai ult just for safety, just for defense. But Spellsy da dunk gonna keep him from getting back to safety, and that could be a Baron because that's one of the main parts of initiation there for Ordinance. And without Alistar, I don't think they can contest this Baron all too easy. Nocturne, he's going to be taking a huge risk if he wants to get in. There you go. There's a Shirelia's pop. The hook in on the Aurelia. Another catch out. Another kill for Yuzuki. There's the flash. The Prism going down onto Nocturne. Will he be able to get away from this one, though? There's a lot of damage. He is slowed for the moment. Flash over the wall. Nien wants all of that. There's the Graves ult. Another twisted advance. The cooldown is back on up. Ezreal, you could be going down. Double kill for the Graves. Another, keep on going. Keep on hitting them, but Spellsy's already back. And there you go. That's just, it's too much pressure. It's too much pressure coming from Orbit. And they can just go in and sneak any objective they want. They can have their pick of prizes on the table. What do you take?
Would you like door 1, which is a Baron? Would you like door 2, which is possibly a top inhibitor? Would you like door 3, which is a pretty lady?
Well, I think they're going to go for door 2 first.
Well, I would say door 3.
Well, door 3 is the obvious choice.
Obviously.
Obviously. But here's the thing, though. I think they've opened door 1. They're asking the audience. They're asking the blue buff. And then I think they're just going to go straight on in for door number 1. They're going to go straight on in for that.
Or they're just going to bait a door number 1.
They could also bait it. Oh, spells deja vu.
Deja vu.
There we
Glitch in the Matrix right here. Spellsy gets bursted down really, really quickly. That 5-on-1 fight right there, not really in his favor.
No.
The unbreakable will could not mitigate enough damage for him to survive, for the rest of his team to catch up.
No.
Spellsy goes down very, very quickly. And they're going to break down door number 1, it looks like.
There you go, right down the front door. There's the Baron being engaged upon right now. And that thing's going down real quick. There's nothing Ordinance can do about this. Orbit will go ahead and secure this pretty convincingly. It's just a matter of what they do from here. Granted, a lot of Orbit's very low on mana, but the extra regen from the buff shouldn't really make that too big of a deal about it. But there's a lot of gold to be spent right now.
The lowest amount of gold on the team right now of Orbit is 1,200.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of stuff to spend. Just Last Whisper. Straight out.
Just buy it.
Why not?
Let's get it.
You got the money. Phantom Dancer coming in from the end. That's just, yeah, it's an absolute spree. Shopping in the mall, gonna be pushing down the mid lane. They could also swoop in for top inhibitor, but here's the thing, mid inhib did go back up, so that's just gonna be, just another checklist on the errands to do before you go ahead and go in.
They're
for
loading
the win.
up in the soccer van right now, and they've got a lot of errands to run. First stop on that shopping spree is going to be Dragon. They're going to pick this up, get that extra 1,000 gold in their cumulative bank here.
Yep.
It looks like then they're going to go bot. That tier 1 tower, for whatever reason, is still standing.
Yeah.
And they don't like it. Nian's knocking at that door, just taking it.
Yep.
Just taking it. He doesn't care anymore.
You got the family at the grocery shop taking care of all the dragon duties. Meanwhile, you're sending off like the middle son. You're sending off Graves to head over to CVS and grab like a bottle of shampoo or something. That was a tier 1.
Yeah,
they're just assigning roles to every member of the family here. High 9 starting the car, getting ready, getting a potential gank primed and ready. It's like hey guys, we gotta go. Get the groceries in the car. We gotta go home. I am not missing tonight's episode of Survivor. That is not happening. Tier 3 tone down in bot. The inhibitor should be going down shortly.
It's the season finale of Survivor.
Don't want to miss it.
It's the episode where the guy has a heart attack and falls into the fire. No one wants to miss that one at all. And now it looks like they're going to just pressure this mid inhibitor, take that down right after the bot inhibitor. And Orb sitting pretty right now.
Really good. They can swoop in for the top tier 3 as well if they really want to. Granted, it's the
top lane of Ordinance is pushed out pretty far.
It is pretty far, but just nothing a good healthy tank can't go ahead and possibly do real quick, like a tree perhaps. He's pretty tanky. He's pretty resilient. Just go ahead and take all his turret shots. But there's so much damage too coming in from Orbit right now. It's going to be a non-issue really. It's just a matter of timing, getting everything they want. There you go. You got vision on 2 members really quick.
Oh, wait, what just happened? Wait, was there TF in there?
The execute didn't even finish.
I didn't.
The execute didn't.
What just happened?
The execute didn't. The animation didn't even finish on it. He died so quick. Robert Lee getting caught out as wow.
Another just
wow.
Resets all day.
Yep, and I think this is
that should be game.
This should be it. Spellsy should not be getting out alive, and the breakable will not going to be enough there. Now Nocturne just getting back to town, realizing what's going on. But you know what? There you go. This is exactly what's going on. Your Nexus turrets are being killed. Hooks to death. Once again, the execute.
Has he missed a reset? I don't think he has.
The execute, just the animation doesn't finish, so it never goes on cooldown.
That's
so
insane.
It's technically a reset.
I guess so.
I guess. But there you go. Nexus goes down. Game 1 gonna be going to Orbit. Very well done. However, I will say though, that was a really good start from Ordinance, but just could not connect with the rest of the game though.
Couldn't finish it off.
No.
Great. I mean, I'm pretty sure Nian, 3 of his 4 deaths were in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
But then he was just like, "Oh, I'm not going down like this.
Oh no,
I ain't going out like that.
Not like this.
Not at all.
Not like
this.
He was
able to bring it bring himself right back into the thick of things.
Yep.
And just really good play by him.
Really good stuff.
8, 4, and 8. Really good, fantastic play by all of Orbit. Great early game aggression from Ordinance, of course, but not able to capitalize on that early advantage.
Yeah, unfortunately not. But you know what? Here's what we are going to do though. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We're going to get game number 2 set up. Hat person here with guest caster Pluto from Curse. Which, speaking of, tune in for later tonight because Curse is going to be playing Meat Playground. And guess who's on Meat Playground?
That's how that works. Let's go to ads.
We'll be right back.